All right, 1 minute left, and we're getting right back into it. We should, yeah, we're still right there. All I gotta do is bring that up. Hopefully, I've got everything in the right place. Yeah, it looks good. Hopefully, we don't have any other problems. So I did take a little bit longer for my lunch and taking care of the dogs, which means the second part to the stream's probably going to be a little bit longer, and then I'm just going to leave the computer up and running because we are going to. I went ahead and I grabbed Alien Isolation, so we are going to play Alien Isolation tomorrow on stream. So if you want to come and see me get the absolute piss scared out of myself, we will be playing that on stream tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't actually know if my computer is going to be able to handle that and streaming at the same time. So we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen with that. It was kind of a last minute thing. Like I went over to Steam to look around, see if there was anything like on sale that would be a good game for Halloween. Originally, that's part of the reason why I started playing Vampire Rising again, or V Rising, and I've actually been enjoying that. It's been quite fun, and I would like to get a little bit further, but you know, we don't exactly have a lot of time, so we can only do a little bit at a time, which is kind of frustrating to me because I want to be able to do a whole lot. So we are going to try and play Alien Isolation tomorrow on stream, and probably get the absolute snot scared out of us. Um, we'll see how that goes. But we need to get back into this. We were in the middle of tearing up our mountainside over there, which I got a feeling is going to be the only thing we get accomplished today. Uh, bit more left to do on this than I actually thought. And in fact, if you watch the previous section, you'll realize that we also had to. I don't know how we landed over here. I thought we were going to fall in there. I had to cut this section into two pieces. I was going to say in half, but it's not actually half. So we got quite a bit of work to do on that, and I just realized our tools are also going to need repairing before we get done with this. That's not going to be that big of a deal. We'll worry about that when it comes to it. Layer 2 layers. So let's just dive right back into this. We got a lot left to do and a lot of planning. I was really hoping to be able to get started on that one building I had planned, the bank. I guess we'll worry about that at a later date. Of course, I could also go ahead and start the process of that and make just like a time-lapse video of me building it. That is a potential thing that we could do, get another like actual video going. Though, as I had mentioned earlier, the software I'm using for video editing was doing something kind of funky with my last couple of videos that I was trying to make. So let's see what happens with that at a later date. Because I am going to try and do a time lapse of me building that place, and then we'll see what happens with the video editor. That has been the major hang up, which is so weird because everything just randomly changed one day. So I bought the video editor software because I wanted to be able to have transitions in my videos, like transition scenes and everything. The software that I was using, which is just the basic Microsoft video editor, doesn't have that. And while I could technically be able to do those through a lot of editing shenanigans, it just never set well with me. I was like, that's going to be too much work for very little gain. Oh, we got an egg. So let's go ahead, make a wish. Um, So that's why I bought it, but then the software itself, nope, nothing. The software itself just was not allowing that to be a thing. It was like the ability to create transitions just didn't exist within it. They were there, that it just the program just literally would not allow me to do it. The videos, every time I would try to render them, would just freeze. It would just stop rendering the video. So the whole purpose of me getting that software was null and void, um, because I couldn't even do the thing that I wanted, which is why I bought the software to begin with. So that was actually really annoying to me. I mean, what's the purpose of buying something if it's not even going to allow you to do what you wanted to, which is the whole reason why you bought it to begin with? Now, I did keep it because the Microsoft Video Editor is no longer a video editor. They changed it, and it no longer allows you to do that. So that is really, really weird, and it's really weird timing. And it's one of the major reasons why here lately I just don't think anything's real anymore. There's too many things that are just happening with very suspicious timings. They just don't make any sense, and it's just like, why is this going on? That shouldn't happen. And it was even like at my last job, I even noticed things like that where it's just really weird things going on. Call me crazy, go right ahead. I don't really care. It just there was such weird things happening, like even with my concept of making it big here on YouTube because of certain reasons, that suddenly just kind of vanished. It was almost like the universe is going, "Hey, we changed our mind. You're not joining this." Um, for multiple reasons. Like one, the the rate at which we were gaining viewers made it seem like it was going to happen, but then that rate just dropped off. It just stopped. Um, not making a lick of sense on that. It just dropped. So that happened, and then around that same time uh, is when I started having a little bit of my own personal drama with some of the people that were inspiring me, and I was just like, "Now wait a minute, I know we I mentioned it earlier. We don't really want to talk about politics, um, and the only thing I can say to that is I need people to chat with, get me on a subject like something interesting to talk about, like my favorite game or something, stuff of that nature. Unfortunately, without somebody to talk to, I always end up defaulting to something. And unfortunately, it is one of the subjects that I've gotten forbidden on my own channel. I've got it marked as forbidden on my own channel, and we're constantly talking about it. Go me! Like that's brilliant. Really, really smart there, Natanis. Really smart. Make something forbidden and constantly talk about it. But yeah, that the whole reason that happens is because what else am I going to talk about? I have talked about my thoughts on Minecraft updates and everything, and there's a whole reason. If you haven't seen that video, there's a whole reason why I chose not to go past Minecraft 1.19, and that is 1.20 just doesn't have anything that I'm excited about. There's nothing. Hello, thank you. Sheesh Master 420. Nice, nice name. Welcome, welcome. Okay. That's really weird. Our inventory's full. That almost sounds like something from Spider-Man. Yeah, because I was sitting there reading it for a moment. Hey, you managed to get me off of that subject that I was on. Good job on that. How are you doing, sheesh? I mean, sheesh. That's a lot to read, too. But yeah, you make me think of Spider-Man because Mayor John J. Jameson. Then that's like Jonah J. Jamerson. It's probably the best trolling name ever. Because I'm sitting there reading that, I'm like, sheesh. That's a lot to read. Really good trolling name. Oops. I don't. Give me the dirt. There you go, fill up that little pond over. Great. It's gonna be night. That is very fun. That's a very fun thing to do. It's like if you've ever heard about all the players that used to make really crazy usernames for uh, Battlefield, like people that would make names like not paying attention. So such and such was killed by not paying attention. Yeah, it's kind of like that stuff. I'm mostly just grinding out, working on the city build. So this is a project that I've had for many, many, many years. We haven't really gotten all that far, mostly due to life issues like work and everything. Though right now I'm in between jobs, so I figure we'll pick this back up for a little while I'm still looking for work. Um, so we got areas over here that we've been clearing and reforming and everything. Yeah, I've never done it before, so one of the things that I've been told about that could, really build your channel and everything is having some kind of massive build for people to watch. Um, and one of those things is building a city. So I've been working on a city for a few years now. Now, obviously, again, like I said a minute ago, because of work and everything, I haven't been able to get that far with it. We've only we've only gotten 3 buildings inside the actual city. We got a little bit of a road network, and that's it. You got my copper field right there. Then over here, we got what is eventually going to be the farmland for the city. So basically, it's going to provide all the crops and food for it. This is going to be a massive wheat field. Thank you. It is all. It's supposed to be steampunk, uh, but I eventually just said, most steampunk things that I'm looking up also don't look like steampunk. They look kind of like they are actually Victorian era builds. So I started saying, okay, we're just going to make it steampunk ish. If things come out to be more Victorian, it should be fine because we're in the same time frame at least. Oh yeah, it's no big deal. It just I haven't been able to invest as much time into it as like anybody else. like some of the people that inspired me. I am going to try and refrain from talking about them because there's a whole reason why I don't want to talk about them. Uh, but the inspiration from watching them over the past, what are we at now with them? Like 13 years of them making content, I think. Um, I've just been inspired by them to constantly build. Here we got my end portal room. This is still unfinished. The plan here is I want to build like a floating end build, and it's going to be kind of dilapidated in here. So eventually we're going to have like the portal's going to be sitting on like a pedestal that is like falling off into, it's not actually the void, it's just supposed to give the effect of the void. And then we're going to have pillars coming around on all sides that are kind of like crumbling apart. That's kind of the idea behind that. I haven't gotten that far on this project either. Again, just life in general has kept me away from being able to work on this, or at least work on it in the capacity that I want to. And what I mean by that is, like I'm doing right now, streaming. Um, I got to a point where building stuff was meaningless unless I was sharing it, and I don't have anybody around to share it. So there was no real point in me just working on this without making videos or without streaming. So it's just been it's been sitting here untouched for a long time. But yeah, this is also my ender. As you can see, there's not much done with the end dimension. Originally, my channel was based on Iron Man, which is why, Iron Man, this is a reversible, it's Iron Man, and I got an Iron Man hat on. So originally I was doing that, but then it started occurring to me that I might have issues with copyright if I'm using Iron Man imagery. I later learned that that wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but hey, you know, we went ahead, we made our own skin and everything. Oh gosh. Uh, Thank you very much, Orda Pilma Selvin. I'm butchering that badly. Thank you very much for that follow. I appreciate that. But yeah, this is an ender over there. I've got a copper farm, which it just uses zombie reinforcements to spawn a bunch of zombies that they then get converted into drown. I need to retrofit the storage system on there because it doesn't work properly. It's not keeping up with the pace. I have thought about putting in a. Okay, it's not showing me that. I have no idea who that was just now. But thank you very much. And unfortunately, I can't see that over there, so if I tab out, I can see it, but it didn't pop up this time, so I don't know who that was. Again, thank you very much. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But yeah, so that's a copper farm that's over there. I actually have 3 copper farms, but that's actually a much better one than the others. One of them is... No, the other 2 are right near a zombie spawner, and then they use the whole conversion, you get the zombies into water, they convert, and then you kill them, you get copper. They use that mechanic, but the second one I built to also use it also uses the reinforcement mechanic. The problem with the second one is the reinforcement mechanic doesn't actually work. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. And what I mean by that is because I built it underground, I didn't go and check all the crevices, and I'm sure that there's still to this day zombies wandering around there that are from the reinforcement mechanic. Okay, there we go. I'm done with that. But then obviously here, I've only ever beat the dragon once, and then I tore apart 2 pillars, so that we had a bunch of obsidian for different things. But I haven't done much out there. I also have a shulker box. Shulker box? I have a shulker farm out there as well in the end, as you can tell from the stupid amount of shulker boxes that are here. This is not a shulker monster, okay? I know what I have a general idea of what is in where, what is in what, and where it's at. So, like over here, all of these brown ones, these are wood. This right here is all spruce. That is dark oak, jungle, and then birch. This one here is actually oak, but the rest of these are all spruce here. That is granite. Hello, welcome, welcome. And then this right here is red sandstone. We got some copper and those. Again, that's granite. This is warp wood. These two are prismarine. That one's got some dark prismarine in it. This one has just a general mix of prismarine blocks. All of this is... No, I have not tried that. And I'm not going to, but thank you. Uh, all of that is bricks right here, because we're going to be using up a lot of bricks at some point. Over here we have various types of stone. So I think this corner right here is actually andesite, and then all of this is like a mix between cobble, regular stone, and then mossy. Over here, this is black stone here. We've got uh, tough blocks here. One of these is somewhere over here is also basalt. And then these are empty right now, but these are my bone blocks. And then we have quartz in these. This is all deep slate, and this is polished andesite right here. So we got polished andesite there, regular andesite over there. So yeah, I know where pretty much all of this stuff is. This is a recent addition just because we're doing so much clearing. That is actually my junk box, but it ended up spilling over into this, which was getting too full. So I just built this. So we got granite at the bottom, then we got andesite, uh, diorites in there. I think we did gravel up here, coal here, and there's some copper in there. So it's not a shulker monster. It is spread out, but I know where everything is. And then obviously we got just, we're gonna have to go to sleep again. A whole bunch of copper out here that has aged, which I need to pick up at some point and get it inside of its box so that I can put some more copper down because I have plenty of copper. But yeah, let's get back to what we were doing because I would like to finish this up for the next time we stream from my Minecraft world. And I don't really have that much time left today. I went a little bit long on my lunch break earlier, and we ended up taking about a 2-hour lunch break. But to be fair, I've got 5 puppies I gotta take care of, so... Well, I say 5 puppies, we call them puppies. They're all little bitty Shih Tzus, all 5 of them. And I've got Dolly and her mother Momo right behind me. So if I'm looking over my shoulder, I'm looking at the puppies, sort of, because they're directly behind me, which means I can't exactly turn all the way around to see them. They appear to be sleeping right now, though, which is good. I routinely have about 1 or 2 of them up here. Typically Momo, because if Momo starts barking, all 5 dogs start barking. She is the instigator of the group, which disrupts any kind of streaming I try to do. unfortunately, we can only ever stream during the day, so it'd be a lot better. Like here in about an hour is when I need to get off. That would actually be the perfect time for me to start streaming, because that's where the whole rest of the world where I'm at is off of work. But unfortunately, that also means some other people are off work, and it causes me a whole lot of hassle. So I can just do what ooh, excuse me, I can just do what I do and then upload the streams over to YouTube for people to watch later on. But yeah, Sheesh, you were talking about a lot of building that you couldn't do in survival. Like, uh, do you do just adventure maps, or do you do like creative building? And same for you, Orda, Orda Pilmi, or Dip Lima. I have no idea how to say that because it should be order, but you're missing an R. And then Plime. Creative building, yeah. I knew some guys who their kids, all they wanted to do was do creative. It has its place, but I feel like there's no, when it comes to actually building in it, there's no real challenge. Because you don't have to worry about resources, staying alive, and everything. Now, that doesn't mean I like hardcore. The furthest I've ever made it in hardcore was like 60 in-game days. Because I end up getting like complacent and make mistakes. Is there anything else that you do? Or, let me ask that a different way. Are there any servers that you play with other people, or you just play by yourself? Oop. Actually, let's get rid of that. Oh yeah, definitely agree. The challenge is making things look good. I definitely agree with that. I kind of struggle with that a little bit. I feel like I've gotten nowhere as far as making things actually look good. But that's compared to like some really big YouTubers. Cool. I used to do that. We had a few guys that we played with. It was my friend Chicken Horse. I don't remember my other friend's online name, and then my little brother is Colonel McDougal, but he's been going by McDougal here lately because he doesn't want to get accused of uh, uh, stolen valor, which it's an online name. I get it. I could see why people would mistake that, but you know, it's his choice. So he just goes by McDougal. But it was actually five of us because Chicken Horse's wife was part of the server as well. But that was years ago. And then there's been a few other servers that I've played on. I have played on a server called Nerdcraft Terra. It's changed a lot. You would have to look them up, but it's survival. They have their own kind of economy system on there, and then it's split up between three worlds. So they've got like a creative world where you can just build whatever. You've got the build world where you can buy plots with in-game currency uh, to build your houses and everything to store your stuff. And then they have a mining world. I don't know if that's still true because I haven't played on that server in years. I also played on Stress Monsters, Monsters of Nowhere server. I played on there for a few months. I played on Exuma Void used to have a plot world, and I was learning to build on there. Like I would build something, I'd ask for feedback, and I would go from there. But sadly, Exuma doesn't have his plot world anymore, so I stopped learning from everybody and getting feedback there. I also played on Iskal 86's 80, 86, 85. I think it's 85. It's been a while since I watched any of them. Um, I played on his free server for a little while. Not very long, but I did play on it. And I still have Rendog's server information on in my list. I haven't been on there though in a while. I was on there like looking around at people's builds, trying to get inspired. And then a few odd and end servers around here. Is it 86? Uh, it's been it really hasn't been that long. I only just stopped watching them this past summer for reasons that I'm going to try and stay away from. But yeah, I stopped playing on or watching all of them. Ah, okay, it is 85. Thank you for that. Off the top of my head, I just couldn't remember. Yeah, I followed them for many, many years, but I finally just I had to call it quits. Okay, we're not picking up the stone anymore. I gotta empty my pockets, which I'm thinking we don't have enough space for the stone now. I think we're out of space on the stone. Nope, nope, not quite. So I guess I don't have a choice. I gotta go drop all this off over there. But yeah, I used to follow that group quite religiously. And that's what I was alluding to earlier. That's the group of players that inspired me until it just wasn't inspiring anymore. Let's drop the stone in there. But what do you do on your server? You just play survival like normal, or are you doing like adventurous stuff, or you all working together to build one thing? Oh, it's about to be night again. That's part of the reason why I also play solo. All of my friends from the past, aside from the fact that they don't play Minecraft anymore, uh, never had a group of people to be able to do something together, like build something. When we had that, I said 5 people. Now I think about there were 6 of us because the person that owned the server. Nice. Nah, I'm never that good with in-game money. I mean, it's in-game money. It's easy to get. To some extent, there are some games that I'm like, nope, it's a lot more difficult. What kind of economy system are you using? I don't know the name of it. There's one, uh, the Nerdcraft Terra, I don't know if it still got that, but the economy system that one had was based on like a class. I'm a little bit warm. I'm trying to take off my jacket. It was based on class, and you could. No, sorry, that was a different server. I'm getting the two mixed up. So, Nerdcraft Terra had an economy system based on selling items. So, you could like sell these items to other players, like sell dyes to other players and everything. Um, I got I got quite a bit of money off of probably the most dangerous thing to do on the server because you're on a server. Oh gosh, cheating the system. Yeah, I love it. Um, but the most dangerous thing you could do on the server was mining obsidian. And the reason that that's dangerous is if you have any lag, you could potentially fall into the lava. Um, and because of the way that server works, they didn't have an end, so there was no end dimension back when I was playing on it. Um, I imagine they've probably fixed that by now because of shulker boxes and everything. That was years ago. I want to say that was like 1.12 or something, but that was several years ago when I was on that server. But yeah, I would mine obsidian, and obsidian sold really well because people didn't like doing it because there was a good chance you could lose your gear mining obsidian, and it did happen to me a couple of times. I actually had 16 stacks of obsidian on me one time, and I lost all of them because the server lag got me, and I fell into lava. And even worse, my water source that I had by because the way I mine obsidian is I mine it like this. So I've got like a water source back here behind me, and I just mine in a line so anything on the sides or beneath me gets automatically turned into more obsidian. Yeah. So what ended up happening is the server lag pushed me off into the lava, and then the water flowed over the top of it. So it locked me in. And I didn't realize what was going on until I was dead. There was no way for me to get out of there. I was just sitting there waiting for the connection to come back. And I lost quite a bit, but I also was making bank on that. Just mining obsidian. That was some fun times. Just sitting back listening to listening to YouTubers and just mining obsidian. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's a good way to de-stress too, but then again, it was very stressful at the same time because you're worrying about the connection, and you may end up, doing exactly what I just described, dying to the lava because of a DC. And I hadn't even thought about that in a while too. I had recently thought about playing on those servers, but it's because I was talking about them in, I think, my last Minecraft stream. Yeah, that sounds like a major exploit. It kind of sucks when they do stuff like that, but at the same time, like, certain money things like that are just way too overpowered. Ooh, excuse me. It was one of the servers I'm trying to remember. There was something that I did. Oh, that's a different game. Yeah, there was. If you have you ever played 7 Days to Die? So so you're admitting that you cheated. Well, I have to admit on here. I got one of the dogs downstairs barking. Not really sure why. Okay, she stopped. She did. Anyway, so as I was saying, 7 Days to Die, there. I don't even remember what version of the game. It was like Alpha 7 or something, or 1, or .7, like something like that. I don't really remember. But there was an exploit where you could just put down a whole bunch of nightstand items and go through and loot them all. And what would happen is gun parts were known to spawn in those, specifically pistols. And all you needed to do was just, you'd go through, you'd loot all of them, take out anything that was in them. You'd go away for like a week, which is actually kind of bad in that game. Come back to them and loot them again, and you could actually get like a full tier, purple tier 7 Days to Die way back. But you could get a full purple tier pistol very easily back then. And people exploited that all the time. And then they would complain that the game's too easy. I remember posting on that. And I was like, you guys have exploited the game to where it's no fun. That's why you think it's too easy. And that's one of the things that I complain about with that group of Minecrafters. They literally sit around, do nothing but play Minecraft, get paid for it, and then they complain about it being too easy. That's because you spend 24 hours a day playing it. Of course you're gonna get all the best things very quickly because you're not doing anything else. For all the average players, it takes quite a bit of effort to get things. Like, I think it was 2 years in this world before I even beat the Ender Dragon. Now, granted, again, that's because I didn't have the time to just sit around and game. And when I did have the time, I was too dang exhausted. I do think somebody is home. I can't tell if I'm hearing somebody downstairs or not. That would definitely explain why Lucy was barking. She typically only barks when she knows somebody's home. Unless Moki's down there and she's just barking at something randomly. Oh, we flew right into a window. Well, she's barking again, so I don't know if somebody is or is not down there. You girls hear something? Because I'm not convinced. Yeah. It was the same. Basically, what I was saying is that that's the same kind of thing where, using exploits that they end up patching out or something like that. I completely lost my train of thought there. I was trying to figure out if somebody's downstairs or not. Easiest thing to do would be for me to get up and go look. But I got a feeling that would just mean I need to go ahead and end it. Which would kind of be annoying because we hadn't even been up the second half of the day for an hour yet. I was hoping to get at least 2 hours, but I took a little bit long of a lunch break. That, and we're still not done with this. I'd rather get this done so we don't have to do this next stream. I'd rather start building next stream. Or not. We may... I did say that I wanted to record record building that building over there. Okay, so to give some context, because I know that sounds confusing, you may have seen this while we were flying back and forth. There's an outline right here. And that is going to be a bank within the city. So I did want to go ahead and start working on this. I don't have any way of showing what I'm thinking as far as how this is going to look, but I do want to go ahead and start working on it so that we got a little bit more, at least another building in here. We're just going to slowly add buildings over time. I've still got to work out what is going to be back here because this is going to have to be a fairly large building because it's got to expand that entire corner. I also need to get all the footpaths put in. As far as I've got for areas that I've got planned out. So I need to get this footpath in over there and then the one that goes through here. And then probably build a few more buildings before we expand any further. I would like to start filling out what I do have with buildings. So this area here, I do have a planned outside of a building. I'm still not sure what is going to go inside of it. And then up there, we do have a plan for a library, but the exterior of the library is not ready, and I haven't been happy with what I came up with for the library, and I can't come up with any good ideas. So I may do that building differently. We may do it from the inside out. Because I do like the inside. The inside looks amazing. It's the outside that looks terrible. No. But yes. So let's just go over here. So basically, looking at pictures of old uh, Victorian era cities, you see where the roads have been kind of carved away from all the wagons going through them. Like the wear and tear on the roads just wears out a path through them. So that is kind of what this is based on. And unfortunately, I had to use cobblestone for all of that because it's really the only block that looks like a cobble road. I did try to use dead coral. You can see that I've got a piece right there. That's because it was part of this, and a creeper blew it up. There's water underneath this to keep the coral alive. Um, but the problem with the coral, trying to do that, the coral would actually work a lot better if we had slabs and stairs. And that's what is making that. So it's kind of just this worn out path that is going along. The road, the sides look a little bit cleaner. I haven't mucked up any of this because we're still far, far, far from this ever being done. It's going to take a lot of time, and considering the amount of time I've already really dumped into it, it's probably going to be a few years still unless life changes dramatically. It's probably going to be a few years before we get anywhere concrete with that. So it's going to be small gains here. One of the first things is I was like, okay, we're just going to start clearing away the area for what I've got planned. I didn't realize my inventory was that full. And then from there, we'll figure out things from there. But there's no telling how long it's going to take me to get to that point. I mean, this, just clearing out this has already taken me, I'd say about a week and a half. Now, bear in mind, when I say a week and a half, that's not a week and a half straight. Because obviously, if you look at my gaming schedule or my streaming schedule, we do Empyrean on Mondays. I try to do Pokemon on Tuesdays, and then Wednesdays I do Minecraft. Thursdays right now I've got it marked as V Rising, but because tomorrow is Halloween, we are going to be playing uh, Alien Isolation for the first time ever over tomorrow. Alien Isolation is something I've been wanting to try out, and because it's Halloween, it was on sale for like $10. So I was like, screw it, we're gonna grab it. I'm gonna do that, have some fun, and probably get the absolute hell scared out of me. We'll see. And part of the reason for that is I've been thinking about for a while, and I was talking to my little brother the other day, and he was saying that he had picked it up and was starting to play it, and he'd already died to the alien like 10 or 15 times already, which I found just absolutely hilarious. So we're gonna try that out and see just how bad it is. Should have some good jump scares in that, which would be very, very interesting because I'm somewhere between very easy to scare and very difficult. I can't really put an idea on that because people have tried in the past, but they didn't get lucky enough, and then there's some people that just manage to do it every single time. So yeah, tomorrow we will be doing that, and then On Fridays, my schedule is that I would like to try and do 7 Days to Die on there. I've never really gotten that far into it, so hopefully we will get a lot further than ever. And then anything beyond that, the weekends, unfortunately, because of life issues, I can't stream at all on the weekends, which would actually be the absolute best time for me to stream. It is what it is. So bearing those facts in mind, it does take a little bit of time to get anywhere with what I've been doing. And again, because of the whole, work life balance stuff. Oh my gosh, it's about to be night again. But any questions about my world? Like anything you want to ask about? In steampunk? Okay, so steampunk is just my favorite architectural style. It is also one of my favorite fantasy styles. Like I really enjoy it. Uh, I haven't read anything that has steampunk or played any games that are specifically steampunk, except for like the Bioshock series. Absolutely love that series. But yeah, steampunk is my absolute favorite style out there. And it is a style within Minecraft that I've been wanting to master for many, many years. And I figured if I'm going to master that, if I'm going to make any progress in that, uh, best way to do it is just build a city. Which, if you remember earlier, I said that one of the best things I heard about for building a channel in a community is build a city. So the two just kind of went hand in hand. I was like, we're going to do it. We're going to do that. Ooh. Even if we haven't really made that much progress, like as long as we keep making small progress, we'll get there eventually. Even if we're at like Minecraft 1.50 and I'm still here in 1.19 trying to make a steampunk city, we will get there eventually. The only thing that could stop that is a complete computer meltdown or I die. Take your pick. One or the other. That's the only way this will ever stop. And I would absolutely hate to lose this world because I put so much time and effort into it. Well, what building style do you prefer? Do you do like modern? Do you do medieval? Or do you do steampunk? What's your favorite style? I know one that I'm not a a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of modern. It just looks too plain. You know, you ever watch those movies where everybody acts like robots and they're all the same? Oh, so around that same time frame. That's nice. Yeah, I like Gothic style too. Uh, inventory. Don't worry about that in a second. Get a little bit of dirt. Yeah, that's kind of what this building here is based on. It is a Victorian era build. It was originally like in a steampunk list, and I went for it, and then I realized after building it that I was like, this doesn't look like steampunk. This looks more like Victorian. And then here in a second, I want you to guess something. See if you can figure it out just from the outside. Oh, nice. Okay, so this building right here, can you guess what that is? Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I would love to play the uh what's the pack's name? Mm, the create mod. The only thing I currently have that has create is I have the life series, which is like the one where they gain a race, and if they die, they become another race. Um, I have that mod pack, which I didn't really care for. I ended up quitting that completely, and then I have oh my gosh, what's it called? Vault Hunters. Vault Hunters has create mod in it because the whole building of trains, I like the idea of. I just never really tried. That seems really cool. Like I'd love to see some of your work. Because one of the things I would like to build here is I would like to put a train station somewhere. I'm I've been thinking about it because we're gonna build a theater here, and then we got one of two options. We can go that way because the ocean on that side is very far away, or we can go that way, but the ocean is not exactly that far. In fact, there's a whole desert right here, but this way's got a lot further to go before we hit the ocean. That way is basically the ocean right over there. And there it is. You can see the ocean's right there. So this way kind of ends very quickly. But yeah, let's go back over here. Do you have any guesses as to what that building is? I don't want to walk in there because if I walk in there, it's going to give it away. Now you get some lights in there, like brighten that up a little bit. Now I'm thinking about it. Let's get a little bit closer. I don't have any scaffolding on me. I don't think I left any over here. There's one puppy moving around. What you doing? Oh, if you've never played one of these games, I really wonder where you've been the last 30 years. So we're gonna walk in there, and I'm gonna try and keep that immediate area out of line of sight, because once you see what's back there, you'll be like, oh, okay. And in fact, if I don't know where the carpet is, and then I'm gonna reveal in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a Pokemon Center, because that's one of my gaming obsessions. And then you can actually see my team being healed up right there. And then we got Nurse Joy here because that's one of the heads that I've got in my pack. Yes, can I help you? What y'all doing? They're getting active now. But yeah, that's something that I put in almost everything I build. Like even on servers, I end up building a Pokemon Center somewhere. This one's a little bit long. It's night again. I was gonna show the outside before I show the inside. It's a little bit big, but I wanted to do something specific with that. I haven't decorated the backside, but or the inside of the back areas. So it needed to be a little bit longer than it should. I see you. Oh, I need to go get rockets again. So, as you can see, it's really long. A little bit too big for a typical Pokemon Center. If we walk in here, you'll see why. So first, let's just go upstairs. Typically in most games, this is where you would find like the trade counter, the global trade. Okay, sheesh. I'll read that later. But you've got a full-on trade center in here. Now, I tried to make this in the creative world. I was messing around with how to make this like be a certain size and have all these rooms separated. But practically speaking, with how wide this building is, it's not wide enough to have a decent sized room. So I just went and just made 3 entrances, and then you got your whole trade and battle center right here. And then downstairs, if you've ever watched any of the anime, they typically have like medical facilities in the back. Now, again, I haven't decorated these because I don't really have anything to decorate them with. I do have the armor stand mod now, but I haven't put it into this world yet. So eventually we'll have like a medical area in here and here so you can see like nurse joys and things working. And then I have a whole bedroom thing going on back here. Again, not decorated, but obviously that's for girls. This side's for boys. So that's what we got going on back here. That's why the building is so long. It's longer than a Pokemon Center should be, but they're really weird buildings because they're too small for how much is supposed to be in them. They really need to be a lot bigger. I found that out just building this guy. But it's really cool. I love putting that together. And then getting the head pieces so that I could decorate it the way I wanted to is quite nice. I could do more because I do have... Oh. I don't know how to say that one either. Thank you, Herb. Thank you for that. Thank you for the follow. And the welcome. So, here. I've got... Unfortunately, these don't stack. So, I've got all of the Eevee evolution heads in here. Then we got Nurse Joy and we got Luxury Balls. And over here we got just a few random characters. Like I've got Edward from Full Metal. I've got Nemesis. I'll show you what Nemesis is for. I've got Goku. Okay, that it didn't show me that one either. So thank you for the follows. I much appreciate that. I've already lost track. That's like 5 in one stream. Wow, that's unheard of for me. Then I've got some fairy tale characters here. We got Natsu, we got Lucy, and we got uh, Erza Scarlet as well. I need to get a few more of them in. And then over here, I've got the Muppets. What Muppets I've gotten so far. So these are all attached to Wandering Traders, so that's the only way I can get these. I do have some others. Yeah, so we got the heads pack. So we kill something that drops a head, which is why that's over there. I just got a cat head recently because I accidentally killed a cat. But yeah, that's the heads. And then over there we got more heads. We're not going to talk about those. I've already talked about those people enough. And we needed rockets before I forget. And let's get back over here and hopefully we can finish up at least one section over here. And then maybe tonight while I'm offline, I will try and finish it up. And that way we got this whole section over here done. That way for next week, I can start laying out some blocks and doing some building instead of just mining an entire day. Obviously, we still got a lot more to do because we got that whole section over there that needs to be done too. But I'm curious now because you guys apparently know each other. Real life friends or just gaming friends or something? Is this one of the people that you play with on servers? Ah, okay. Well, welcome on in. Welcome. Welcome to the EV army. I always forget to say that because I'm not used to people coming in and joining. It's very, very rare that I have somebody to talk to. It's also very rare that I'm in a position where I can talk. Usually it's late night and I have to turn off the mic and everything, so it's just me streaming and potentially playing music that normally gets me in trouble. Yeah, well, welcome to the world that I've been working on for like, I said 4 years. I almost wonder if it's been 5. I don't really remember how long ago 1.17 was. I want to say it was COVID. I want to say I started this world when COVID hit. I'm not entirely sure. And I feel like I was telling Sheesh, I feel like I haven't gotten that far with how long this world's been around. But then again, that's just life circumstances. I haven't been able to really work on it that much. And one thing I didn't tell Sheesh is the whole demotivation of working on stuff like this. Because I poured my heart and soul into it and nobody was watching. So I was getting really demotivated quick. I feel like before we do the next section, we need to go empty our inventory. Yeah, I've got a whole little mini series that I did over on YouTube of me building up this world. So a lot of the things that you're seeing now were not made at the beginning of that series. And then, like I just said, I didn't get that many. That's I didn't get that many viewers. So eventually, between that and life circumstances, I just had to stop, basically. And it was really killing me in the motivation area. So I hadn't worked on it like until like 2 3 weeks ago. I hadn't even pulled this world up in almost 2 years. I had on occasion just to farm stuff. So that's why I actually have so much copper right now, as I was doing a lot of farming. Same for gold. I have quite a bit of gold built up in my gold farm. In fact, I haven't shown that yet. You missed out on seeing some of the other things, like my Ender, which isn't exactly spectacular, but if you've seen one Ender, you've seen them all. Unless somebody does something super crazy. Like, like the world's most popular SMP. I don't have anything super crazy like they do. I'd rather get this finished. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's finish this up because it's only like 2 layers left, and then one layer down at the bottom, like the one we're walking on. We gotta do that one too, and then we'll go look at my gold farm. It's nothing spectacular, but it is something that I have not shown yet in a little while. I'm pretty sure that's a build that I did in video. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. Because that was at least 3 years ago. No, that had to have been only 2. So maybe it was a year and a half that I hadn't pulled up this world. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that. It's just dirt. So yeah, we'll finish up this section that we've been working on, and then I'll go show the gold farm, and I think we'll probably end it there. Another reason I need to end is I'm starting to get choked up. Like my voice is starting to go, which I didn't think would ever be a thing with me, but it is apparently. And part of that reasoning is probably because of this right here. Never stream and drink soda. For one, you're not moving around. You're just sitting on your butt. And two, it's really just not that good for you. Especially if you're like talking, it's not good for your voice because all the sugar that's going on your vocal cords. Okay, so I think that's all the dirt in this section. What's the matter? We'll get you guys out of here in a little while. Let me finish this up, and then I gotta do some show and tell. Yeah, I do think somebody is home. I can hear something opening and closing downstairs. Not a huge deal. But it does mean I do need to end fairly soon. This may take a little bit longer than I was thinking. I don't know if we'll actually be able to do what I wanted. Because I want to flatten out this entire section. And we still got a whole nother layer to go. Oh no, we'll see. Oh no, no, no. I ain't got the time for that. Never mind. I thought it was still kind of... I thought it was closer to 4 o'clock than it is 5. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to go off to the gold farm. I will try and finish this off camera later. Man, this has done wonders for my dirt supplies, though. Alright, off to the gold farm. It's nothing huge. It's pretty standard of what any YouTuber, streamer has ever done. I don't have it decorated either, so it's nothing fancy. It was just a gold farm to get me gold. That's it. The real... The interesting part about it is my piglin trading facility. So, Sheesh, you had mentioned that you are familiar with uh, Iscale 85 and all that group. Um, my piglin trading is based on something that Tango Tech was doing way back when, and I went to do some experiments. Yes, and she's whining at me. So we're gonna quickly go over this, and I've got to get off of here. So up here, standard gold farm, as you can see, we got one massive thing of storage for it. So you can see that I have spent quite a bit of time uh, AFKing here over the last few years, just getting as much gold into the system as I can. Obviously, it didn't take years to build it up, but I have been like logging into the game. I haven't been doing any kind of work in it, but I've been like gathering resources here and there. Um, so no major work, but resource gathering. Up here is my piglin trading. Excuse you. It's my piglin trading area. Okay, we're not going to be able to jump up there. I'll have to get on top of this somehow. Because otherwise I don't want to accidentally activate this thing. Oop, nope, I missed. Okay, we'll just drop in here. So there is both of them. Both of them are right there, aren't they? Yep, we gotta split them. So you can see that he got a piece of gold, and because all the timing was thrown off just then, you didn't see him throw it, but he gave us a piece of obsidian. Okay, nice. So the experiment was he was having a trouble with the piglin AI, like where they were throwing items to. So I set this up in a creative world and I let myself AFK there for a little while, and then I came back to see where exactly the piglins were throwing the items to. And there's two things that I found out with that. If the player is in line of sight, the piglins will throw their trade items towards the player. So wherever the piglins are when that activates, they're going to throw it towards the player. So if they're like here and that activates, they're going to throw it at that angle to the player. So it's going to fall over here somewhere. Um, and the other thing is, if there is not a player within line of sight, they will drop the item wherever they are. So right now he's right there. Because I wasn't in line of sight, he dropped it right where he's at. So in order for what Tango Tech was doing, he needed to be in line of sight of the piglins. Problem. His setup was more of a roller coaster, more like a Ferris wheel. So it's going around in a circle around him, like up this way. So that means that only the piglins above him were going to have line of sight on him and try throwing their items toward him. Any of them that are below his platform that the line of sight gets broken on, they're just going to drop their items right there. That's why he was getting items everywhere. So I built this system, which is kind of the same kind of concept. The piglins are moving around; they're not staying put, and they will activate a activator here. And this will do two things. One, it'll activate the dropper over there, which is going to drop out a piece of gold to where they can reach it. Typically, it spits it out and it drops like right here, right where the piglin is sitting. So they'll immediately pick it up. And after a little bit of a delay, this activator rail will activate, sending the piglin on along, and it'll go this way, go up this. Yeah, it'll go up this, drop down to here, and this is part of the delay mechanism. So once it gets here, it's delaying a little bit. That's giving it time for the trade to go through, and then it get pushed off again. And because I'm AFK right there, it has line of sight on me, and the other one's going to be on the exact opposite side. It's going to throw its item into the hoppers here. Now, what I did find is that the throw is random within a 3x3 area. So if they've got line of sight on you anywhere in this 3x3 area, the item could end up landing. The other problem is that the timing for them to throw the item, throw out their trade, is not perfect. Sometimes they will throw it out here. So if they've got line of sight on me, it still may wind up in these three hoppers here. That's why this is such a 3x3 area. though it still can fall over here, and you lose stuff. Unfortunately, if you unless you're making like a very wide collection area, you're gonna lose stuff. I just went with hoppers because it's force of habit. You can just use a hopper minecart to collect materials. Now, the continuing on with the timing of them throwing their item, it could be here to about here is when they're going to throw their item towards you. So there's no way to control that. I tried and I tried and I tried. That's why all this has timings on when the piglin gets pushed and everything, but there is no way to guarantee where they are going to throw the item unless you stopped it right here, right in front of you, so that they see you, and then they toss it that way, and then they move. There's no real way to control where they're going to throw it. You can only you can only control an area of where they would possibly throw it. The exact coordinate, impossible. You can't do it. I tried for several weeks after his initial video on that came out, and he was asking for people to try their attempts on it, and just what I found just went straight against any kind of conventional, like guaranteed method of collecting items. It just did not work. So the best I could do was just put a 3x3 area of hoppers there and hope that the piglins managed to hit them. You could do it wider. You could do like a 3x5, and you'd probably guarantee get it. Uh, thing is, you're dealing with a lot of hoppers at that point. If you know anything about redstone, a lot of hoppers is very bad. Now, I did not put uh, a shulker loader on this, so up here is where our AFK spot is, and this is arranged so that when the piglins come over, or when the zombie piglins come over here, they'll pathfind over to me and fall into the kill chamber there. That's just like 25 hoppers, so this uses uh, entity cramming. My brain just went completely blank there. So it uses entity cramming to kill them, and then I've got gold right here, which we can take and turn into gold blocks. I have used up quite a bit of this gold. As you probably saw with my beacons are sitting on top of gold. So yeah, that's where that goes. And then I've got nuggets over in here, which I have not cleaned out since the last time I AFK'd over here. But yeah, that is the gold farm. And then you may have noticed that there's a couple other things here. So I've got another wart farm here that unfortunately spawns a lot of pigmen. That is really annoying, but nothing I can do about that really. And then up here is a hoglin farm, which I need to figure out some changes to, because this thing has been overflowing for like forever. You can see there's a pork right there that is just not being collected because the whole system's way too full. I did organize it a little bit, so it looks a little bit better. But I have way too much pork chops. I even like cooked up a whole bunch over here. Eventually, I need to put uh, a lava farm over here so that I can cook all of these pork chops, because we got a ridiculous amount of pork chops. I also need to put like a system over here for getting rid of too much inventory. I think the easiest way for me to do that would just be to somehow hook it all the way over to here, because we got this setup that trashes any kind of overflow in our trading center. So we got quite a bit of stuff here. We got obsidian in here, crying obsidian here, blackstone there. This should be soul sand, and then gravel there. This is nether bricks. This is nether quartz. Spectral arrows here. String goes there. We got fire charges there, iron nuggets there. We got leather here. We got one thing for ender pearls, I believe. Maybe two. I don't remember. No, I think we did do 3 for this one as well. It definitely looks like it because this has got all sorts of stuff. And anything that I can't sort goes over here. And I have to go through this occasionally and just get rid of stuff. You will notice that there's no water bottles here. I try to take the water bottles and save those, which is why we got a cauldron right there. So I can use the water bottles on that, empty them out, and then I can take the water with my bucket and just put it somewhere. And because we're in the nether, it'll just destroy it. So then I can empty out some more water bottles into that. Or I can just take the water bottles back home and put them in storage. One or the other. And then we got some building materials here that I just haven't bothered to clean up. You can see right here where I've been dumping out the water for water bottles. But yeah, that's this area here. And then we got pathing for what is eventually going to be built up here. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to make. I thought about it for a long time, and it's possibly just going to be some kind of nether fortress up here. I'm not really sure what kind of nether fortress, but eventually it's just going to be another fortress. And then we got paths that go off to different biomes that are far enough away that they are now 1.19. Because if you recall what I said earlier, this world was started in 1.17. So, in order to get to the 1.19 stuff, I had to build paths all the way out. And this goes really far out. I don't remember what this one was for. I think this one went to a... I think that one went to a swamp. A mangrove swamp. And then this one's even further out. That is for ancient cities and finding copper veins is what's way out there. That was before the invention of the reinforcement zombie mechanic copper farm. And once that got made, I said, the heck with going and mining it, and I made my own reinforcement zombie farm. And another thing that we can't see because it's a little bit far away is my frog light farm. It's really far away because I had to go find a basalt delta to find magma cubes. And so we aren't going to bother showing that. That would take too long to go find. But yeah, I need to end it here. I need to get back with the other puppies, get all 5 of them outside. So I need to go ahead and go. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you enjoyed that little tour. And again, thank you for the follows. Thank you very much for the follows. That is much appreciated. We are closing in on 100 followers here on Twitch. We are 23 followers away on YouTube. You can see that up. Let me go out of this. Yeah, over there. It's up there. You can see that we're at 77 followers on YouTube, so we are closing in on 100 finally. It's been several years, way too long. So yeah, that's where we're at on that, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I appreciate you all for hanging with me for a little while. Yeah, so y'all take care, and I will see you tomorrow, hopefully with some alien isolation. So until then, enjoy, have a great day, and God bless. I'll see you later.